Hey guys, I'm Serge.
And I'm Meg.
And today we're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about selecting your broker and kind of what your first week can be like in the real estate industry. Now, before we do that, we're going to give a little intro as to who we are and the decision-making process in selecting a broker. So let's start off with Meg.
Sure. So my background is in law. I'm an attorney, and I practiced for almost 5 years here in the Tampa Bay area. I worked for a really great company, and then I moved about a little over a year ago into more of an entrepreneurial role, operating business with Serge.
Yeah, and I come from the hospitality industry. After college, I opened up a couple of restaurants, then I got involved in some technology startups, but real estate has always been a passion of mine, and for Meg as well.
Yep.
So real estate is something we've talked about for a very long time, but our career paths have just kind of kept us doing other things and not real estate. So finally, we went out there, we got our real estate licenses, and then the arduous task of figuring out who our broker is going to be came up on, right?
Yeah. So, in going into that decision-making process, we had some preconceived notions of what we thought we would want or what to expect out of different types of brokerages. So, of course, you've got the smaller boutique ones, the independent brokerages, and then you have larger brokerages, and then you've got some that are kind of in between. And our opinion of the large brokerages was that they were probably going to be a little bit stifling of our creative spirit and desire to innovate and just kind of do things on our own and not have a boss and not have a lot of constraints. We also would like to see ourselves in different aspects of the real estate business, so we didn't want to be in a position where we were going to foreclose ourselves from operating maybe side businesses or whatnot. So so the first thing we did was start in speaking with a smaller boutique brokerage.
Yeah, and the one we started off with here in St. Pete was a small boutique brokerage. The young guy that was running it is just amazing, very smart, builder by trade, really knows the area, and is very, very organized. And we just, after meeting with him for a couple of times, we're pretty much sure that that's where we were going to go until we decided to just kind of just to do due diligence, right? So we can sleep well at night. Let's talk to the largest brokerage here in St. Petersburg. And again, a little reluctant because people out there were talking how it's going to be expensive and you have to pay for your desk and a whole bunch of other things, and they're going to take a lot of money from your commissions. So we were a little reluctant, but everyone at the same time said that this particular one had amazing training programs.
Yeah.
So if you want to get out there, if you're fresh, they are going to teach you how to be a good agent. So like, all right, let's go talk to them.
Yeah. So we had the opportunity to meet with one of their rainmakers, and they're a personal connection of Serge's, and she completely blew us away. We were really enthralled with everything she had to say about the business as a whole, but also about Keller Williams, which is the brokerage that she was with and now ultimately we are with. And so I guess I'm giving it away a little bit of who we decided to go with. But one of the things that she really kept going back to was the training. And she couldn't say enough about, the opportunities to learn and kind of having this large organization that does an amazing job as training. And she said, Keller Williams has branded themselves as a training and information company that happens to be in the real estate business. And they're, in fact, moving into becoming more of a technology company that happens to be in the real estate business. And so, when we sat and talked with her, everything sounded wonderful, but we were also a little bit concerned then, again, about the constraints of operating underneath such a large company's umbrella. And she immediately put those fears to rest. She's like, everyone here is an entrepreneur, at least a lot of them are, and you can run your business however you want to, and we consider it your business. So they're a skeleton, they're a backbone, they're assistants along the way, but ultimately kind of it's your business to build, and that's what they're about.
Yeah, so they provide you with a lot of technical knowledge, how to write contracts, how to read contracts, how to negotiate, how to search the MLS, and just everything you need on the technical side. But most important is they prepare you to be motivated, spiritually ready to go out there and tackle this somewhat of kind of an industry where you can be, fearful at first, right? It's so big, so many agents. Here in St. Petersburg, there's like 10,000 agents, right? So we're trying to get in there with all of these folks out there. And how do you wake up at night, in the morning, and go out there and be motivated to pursue this endeavor? So they teach you a lot about just having fun. So in the first week, right, we went through a few training classes. And we've had so much fun going out there, talking to strangers in the neighborhoods about their neighborhoods, asking people if they're selling houses, if they know buyers,
Yeah.
driving by open houses and for sale by owners, but
Yeah.
actually having fun with human interaction, right?
Right.
It's like you're not sitting there in some dark closet with a flashlight making cold calls, oh, hey,
Yeah.
can I sell you? No, you're actually out there engaging with people. You're learning your community. You're driving by the streets that maybe you've neglected before on your way to work. Now you're taking a little extra corner and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so this is truly what Keller Williams is there to teach. They're going to give you all the technical knowledge, which we knew going into this. We can absorb the technical knowledge on our own. But what Keller Williams is there to teach is really those skill sets and providing you with that emotional framework to go out there and do the things that Serge was just talking about. Because for not everyone that's super easy to knock on someone's door, like actually go up to a stranger's door. And while we're fairly social people, and that seems like, to someone who knows us, oh, they've got that, it's still an entirely different industry. You still have to know, just have the right skills and have that kind of emotional training to be able to go out there and do it in this new industry and in new ways. And so that's what we're finding that Keller Williams is really providing, is the opportunity to kind of, fill in, create the skeleton with the technical knowledge, and then fill in with the kind of emotional training that goes along with it.
Yeah, and so much fun. And so for now, we are actually not even reaching out to our network of people. We're just out there testing it out as if we're just new in town, learning about it, going on MLS. So they teach us how to use the MLS, how to do comparative market analysis. Now I can actually look at a home and be able to evaluate whether or not it's priced correctly, or be able to recommend what the pricing should be or the range of prices should be. So I feel very empowered in 1 week. So this is going to be our weekly updates every Friday. We're going to make these videos to tell you about our life at Keller Williams St. Pete office, what we learn, kind of what our objectives are going to be.
Yeah, and throughout this time we'll be going through what's called their Ignite program. So it's kind of more formal education. So for right now, we'll be able to talk a little bit about how that's helping us. And then as we graduate on from that, then there's just a host of other types of trainings and opportunities to learn from and work with the other agents in the office. So I'm sure kind of each environment of education will provide new insights for us to share.
Yeah. So every week we're going to come up with this content. If you have any questions, comments, please follow up with us. We're here learning, and we want to go ahead and share every knowledge that we get as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And now we'll go head out for the weekend and take all the stuff we've been learning and put it into action. And we hope you have a good holiday weekend.
Yeah.